Hello students, let's do speed, distance and time exercise 12b. This is on page number 141. Question 1. Train covers 200 kilometers in the first 2 hours. Then 126 kilometers in the next 2 hours. And finally 143 kilometers in the last 3 hours. Find the average speed of the train for the whole journey. Now, first of all, to find the speed of anything, speed of the train in this case, we need to write the formula. Speed is equal to distance by time. This is what we have learned, isn't it? Speed is distance by time. Now, do we have distance? Is distance given here? Yes, here it says 200 kilometers, 126 kilometers and 143 kilometers. So, distance we have. Time do we have? Yes, 2 hours. Again, we have 2 hours and then 3 hours. So we have distance and time. So first thing, let's write down what is given to us. So what is given to us? Distance covered in the first 2 hours is given to us. It is 200 kilometers. So let's write that 200 kilometers. Then the distance covered in the next 2 hours is also given to us 126 kilometers. Then the distance covered in the last 3 hours is given 143 kilometers. So we have the distance covered. Now what do we have to find out? Average speed. So what do we mean when we say average speed? Now here the distance covered in the first 2 hours is 200 kilometers. So there will be a speed for that. There will be a speed here when it covered 126 kilometers in 2 hours. Again there will be a speed here. Isn't it? So you have speed in different cases for the same train because in the first 2 hours, next 2 hours and the last 3 hours. So now here to find the average speed, what we mean is we have to get a number that is telling us how the train went, what was the speed of the train at a normal rate. Okay, so to find that, this is the formula we have to use. The average speed of the train is the total distance. That means we have to add up the distance by the total time. We have to add up the time, and then we're using this formula and finding the average speed. So let's find the total distance. Total distance means we have to add up 200 kilometers plus 126 kilometers plus 143 kilometers. Now this we have to divide by what is given here, total time, and the time is 2 hours plus 2 hours plus 3 hours. So let's write that 2 hours plus 2 hours again. This is the next 2 hours. Then the last is the last 3 hours. So by adding up all this, we get the total time. So now the first thing we're going to do is add up the distance. So let's add up 200 plus 126 plus 143. So we're going to add up these. 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2, 3, 4. 469. So the total distance is 469 kilometers. And this is divided by the total number of hours. This we can add here. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is 7 hours. So 469 kilometers divided by 7 hours. So here we have to divide 469 by 7. So 7 sixes are 42 minus, here 6 minus 2 is 4. We bring down 9. Now it's 49. 7 sevens are 49 minus, you get 0. So our quotient is our answer. So we have got 67. So here we've got 67 and the units are kilometer by hour or kilometer per hour. So what have we found? We have found the average speed. The average speed is 67 kilometers per hour. So this is the speed at which the train is moving. Average speed. Okay, so we're getting one number to tell us that around this number is what the speed of the train is. Question 2. A bus travels at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour for 5 hours and at a speed of 90 kilometers for 4 hours. Now we have to find the average speed here also. Remember, to find speed, we need to know distance by time. So here we've got this, we have to see if distance is given and see if time is given. So if you notice, distance is not given. Speed is given to us, time is given to us. Here also speed and time, but distance is not given. So we need to first find the distance. So let's begin the first part. Speed is given to us 72 kilometers per hour. Time is 5 hours. At this speed and within this time, what is the distance? Now I have written distance 1 here because we have to find again the distance for this part also. So here to find the distance, what is the formula? The formula is speed into time. So let's do that. Speed is 72 kilometers per hour and time is 5 hours. So we need to multiply 72 into 5. 72 into 5. 5 twos are 10, carry 1. 5 sevens are 35 plus 1, 36. So this is 360 kilometers. So this is the distance covered by the bus when it travels at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour for 5 hours. Now the speed is going to change and the time is going to change. That means we have to find distance 2. So let's do that. So here the speed is 90 kilometers per hour given to us in the question. The time is also given to us 4 hours. Now we have to find the distance covered. Again, distance covered is speed into time. So how much is speed here? Speed is 90 kilometers per hour and time is 4 hours. So now we have to multiply 90 into 4. 9 fours are 36 and add the 0. So now we have found the distance here. Here also it is 360 kilometers. Now the question is find the average speed. To find speed, remember you need to know distance and time. So we have distance here and distance here. So now we can find the average speed by using the formula. Average speed will be total distance by total time. So what is the total distance that we have found here? Distance 1 is 360 kilometers. Distance 2 is also 360 kilometers. So to find the total time, we have to add up total distance. Now we have to add up the total time. Total time is 5 hours here and 4 hours here. So we have to add up that also. 5 hours plus 4 hours. So distance will be kilometers, time will be hours. So now let's add this up. 360 plus 360 is 720 kilometers. 5 plus 4 is 9, so that is 9 hours. Now divide 720 by 9. So let's do that division here. 720 divided by 9. 9 eighths are 72 minus 0. You take it up minus 0. So what do we have here? 80. So 720 divided by 9 is 80 and the units are kilometer divided by hour or kilometer per hour. So here what have we found? We have found the average speed. The average speed is 80 kilometers per hour. So let's write that average speed is 80 kilometers per hour. Our final answer. Question 3. Out of a distance of 80 kilometers, the first 60 kilometers is covered at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour and the remaining distance at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. Calculate the average speed. So when we are talking about speed, remember the formula for speed. Speed is distance by time. Now if we have distance and time, we are able to find speed, isn't it? Now here, let's see if distance is given. Distance is given for 60 kilometers. Now time is not given, but speed is given. So in this case, we can find time. And what is the formula for time? Time is distance by speed. So we're going to find time with whatever is given to us. So let's begin by saying distance. So we're talking about the first 60 kilometers. Distance is 60 kilometers. Then what else is given to us? The speed is given to us. So speed is 40 kilometers per hour. So let's write that 40 kilometers per hour is the speed given to us. Now this is the first part. So to find time here, I've written T1. Okay, because we're going to find time twice. So T1 will be distance by speed. So let's write that distance is 60 kilometers and speed is 40 kilometers per hour. So here when we calculate, we can cancel the zeros. So we have 6 by 4 divide both by 3. 2, 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4. So here we have 3 by 2 kilometer per hour. 3 by 2 kilometer per hour. Now this let's convert it into a decimal number. So let's divide 3 by 2. 2 ones are 2 minus 1. Now to continue the division, we have to put a point here, carry that point up, put a 0, bring the 0 down. Now the number is 10. 2 5s are 10 minus 0. So here we have 1.5. So 3 by 2 kilometer per hour is 1 by 5, 1.5 hours. So this will be 1.5 hours. This is when we calculated the first part for time 1. Now we're going to calculate for the second part and make it time 2. So here in the second part, what is the distance? Here it says remaining distance. The first part, the distance was 60 and the total distance is 80. So the remaining distance will be 80 kilometers minus 60 kilometers. And how much is that? 80 minus 60 is 20 kilometers. So that is the distance. Now what is the speed here? The speed is 20 kilometers per hour. 20 kilometers per hour. Now we have to find time 2 here. That will be distance by speed. And the distance here is 20 kilometers and speed is 20 kilometers per hour. So we are cancelling the 20s here. Both are 20 and 20. That means it's 1. So this will be 1. That is 1 hour. So the time here is 1 hour. So now we have found time for the first part of the journey and then we found 1 hour, the time again for the second part. Now we have to calculate the average speed. Average speed is total distance by total time. Now total distance is given to us in the question where it says out of a distance of 80 kilometers. This is the total distance. So let's write total distance is 80 kilometers divided by the total time. And what is the total time? We found here it's 1.5 hours and here it's 1 hour. So we need to add that. So 1.5 plus 1. So this is 80 by 1.5 plus 1 is 2.5. So we need to divide this. So remember this is kilometers and this is hours. So let's divide 80 by 2.5. So let me take it here and do the division for you. 80 divided by 2.5. Remember, when you divide by a decimal number, you have to make it a whole number. So 2.5 should now become 25. How can we do that? If you remove the point, isn't it? And you can remove it only if you multiply it by 10. So let's multiply this by 10. So multiply 2.5 by 10 and in that case you have to multiply 80 also by 10. So when you multiply by 10, the point will come here. So now it becomes 25. So on top, 80 into 10 becomes 800 and 2.5 into 10 becomes 25. Now we have to divide 800 by 25. So when we are going to divide 800 by 25. 25, 3s are 75 minus 10 minus 5 is 5, 0. 25 2s are 50 minus 0. Our quotient is 32. So here we have found the quotient here. We're going to use it here as 32. So what have we found here? We have found the average speed. That is what we are finding out, isn't it? We found the average speed to be 32. And what is the unit for speed? Kilometer per hour. So 32 kilometers per hour. This is our final answer. We've been asked to find the average speed and we found the average speed to be 32 kilometers per hour. Question 5. Question 4 has been worked out in your textbook itself. This is question 5. Out of a journey of 300 kilometers, the first part of distance 85 kilometers is covered at a speed of 51 kilometers per hour. So this is the first part. Then we have a second part, 90 kilometers at 135 kilometers per hour. And then we have the third part where the remaining distance we have to calculate, but the speed is given as 75 kilometers per hour. Now we have to find a few questions here, the answers to these. The first one is the distance covered at a speed of 75 kilometers per hour. So 75 kilometers per hour is here. So we are asked to calculate the distance. What is the distance here? Now total distance is so much. For the first part, the distance is 85 kilometers. For the second part, the distance is 90 kilometers. So now it's easy to find the remaining distance, isn't it? So let's write what's given to us. So the first thing given to us is the total distance. It's given here. The total distance is 300 kilometers, which we have written here. This is the total distance. The first part of the distance, see, the first part of distance is 85 kilometers, which we have written. The second part of the distance is given to us is 90 kilometers, which we have written. Now we are asked to find the remaining distance. Now it's very easy to find the remaining distance when the total distance is given and the other two are given. That means we have to add up these two first and subtract it from 300. So that will be 300 minus, now we have to add up 85 kilometers plus 90 kilometers. So let's do this calculation. So this is 300 kilometers minus 85 plus 90. 85 plus 90. 5. 8 plus 9 is 17. That's 175 kilometers. Now we have to subtract 300 and 175. So let's do that subtraction. 300 minus 175. Let's borrow from here. 2, this becomes 10 and 9, 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So this is 125 kilometers. So what have we found? We have found the remaining distance to be 125 kilometers. So that was a simple one. We didn't have to use any formula. We just had to think and do. Now we have to go on to the second part of the question. So let's see what the second part is. So now we are doing the second part of question 5. We have to find the total time taken. So let's see if time is given anywhere. The first part of the distance is given, speed is given, again distance and speed, but time is not given. So that means we have to find the time in each case and then find the total time by adding up all the time given. So first let's write what's given. So here the first part of the distance is given to us is 85, and then we have been given speed, which is 51 kilometers per hour. This is the first part. So speed is given, distance is given. Now we have to find the time, and the formula to find time is distance by speed. I have written this as T1 because here the first part the time will be T1. Second part, the time will be T2, and the remaining distance, the remaining part, that is the third part, time will be T3. Only then can we find the total time taken. So let's begin by writing this distance by speed. Now distance is given to us 85 kilometers and the speed is given to us 51 kilometers per hour. So that means we have to divide these two. So let's divide 85 by 51. So 51 ones are 51 minus 5 minus 1 is 4. 8 minus 5 is 3. Now let's continue our division. In that case, I'm going to put a point here, carry that point up, put a 0. Now I can bring that 0 down. So my number is 340. So now we have to get a number close to 340. Let's try 51 into 6. So let's see 51, multiply this by 6. Let's see what we are getting. 6 ones are 6, 6 fives are 30. We've got 306 and that is close to 340. So let's write that 51 into 6 is 306. So we put 6 on top. Here we have 306. We subtract now. So here borrow, so this becomes 3 and this is 10. 10 minus 6 is 4 and then here we have 3. Now we can continue our division by, now continue the division. Let's Put one more 0, bring that 0 down. Now the number is 340. Now 51 into 6 only, isn't it? 51 into 6, 6 ones are 6, 6 fives are 30. We have to use the same thing. So 51 into 6 is 306. Now, if you subtract again, this is going to go on. You're going to keep getting 340. So we will stop with this 1.66. Whenever you have a non-terminating decimal like this, that means if it keeps going on and on without giving you a remainder 0, then for the purpose of working out, stop with 2 decimal places. So we'll stop with 1.66 now. So that is our time. T1 is 1.66 hours. Okay. Now we have finished finding the time taken for the first part of the distance of that journey. Now let's do for the second part. So the second part of the distance is 90 kilometers. And here the time is 135 kilometers. The speed is 135 kilometers per hour, which is given to us. Now we have to find time. So this time it's time 2 because we have 3 times when we are going to find out the time taken. So this is distance by speed. So what is the distance? In this case, it is 90 kilometers. And what is the speed here? The speed is 135 kilometers per hour. Now here, before dividing, we can reduce this to the lowest term. Both 90 and 135 are divisible by 9. 9 tens are 90. Now 135 also can be divided by 9. 9 ones are 9. And then what is left? 10, 11, 12, 13. That is 4. So now the number is 45. 9 fives are 45. So we have 10 by 15, which again we can reduce by 5. 5 twos are 10, 5 threes are 15. So what do we have here? We have 2 by 3. So let's divide 2 by 3 and see what we get. So let's write 2, divide this by 3. So it's smaller, so we're putting a 0. We're going to continue our division by putting a point here, carry that point up, put a 0. Now read the number as 20. So 3 sixes are 18. So we can write that 3 sixes are 18 minus. Now here minus again, 10 minus 8 is 2. So continue the division by putting a 0. Bring that 0 down. Now number is 20. 3 sixes are 18 minus. Now here also can you see this is going to go on and on. So again we have a non-terminating decimal in the quotient. So let's take only 2 decimal places. So let's write this as our answer here. That is 0.66 hours since we're talking about the time. So here as you can see, time 1 we have found out, time 2 we have found, now we have to find time 3. So let's begin by saying the third part of the distance D3 is 125 kilometers. The speed here is given to us 75 kilometers per hour. Now we have to find time 3, distance by speed. So distance is 125 kilometers and speed is 75 kilometers per hour. Now here, let's cancel and get our final answer for time 3. Let's divide 125 by 75. So 75 ones are 75 minus 0. 12 minus 7 because here it is 0 and we are borrowing. 12 minus 7 is 5. And then we need to continue our division because the remainder is not 0. Put a point, carry that point on top, put a 0, bring that 0 down. 500. Now we need to get a number close to 500. So 75 into what will give us a number close to 500? Now let's try 75 into 6. So 6 fives are 30, carry 3, 6 sevens are 42, plus 3 is 45. So 450, we can use that. 75 into 6 is 450 minus 0. So here again we borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. Now continue the division by putting a 0 there. Bring that 0 down and continue the division. You will find that again 75 into 6 is 450. If you subtract this, again you're going to get 50 and again this division will go on. Again it's a non-terminating decimal. So we're going to leave it at this. So 1 point, the time will be 1.66 hours. So we have found the time for the third part also. So we have the first part, second part and the third part. So now we can find the total time taken by adding up all the time that we found out. So time 1 we found out to be 1.66 hours. Time 2 we found out to be 0.66 hours. And time 3 we just found out to be 1.66 hours. So total time taken is for us to simply add up all this. Let's do that. 1.66, 0.6, again that is also 66 and 1.66. Let's add it up. 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 6 is 18, carry 1, again 18 plus 1 is 19, carry 1, 3, 3.98. So the total time taken is 3.98 hours. Since it's close to 4 hours, we can say this is 4 hours. So the total time taken is 4 hours. Then now we have to find the average speed for the whole journey. So what is the formula for speed? Speed is distance by time. So average speed is total distance by total time. Now total distance is already given to us in the question as 300 kilometers and the total time we have found out to be 4 hours. Now we have to divide this to find the average speed. So let's divide 300 by 4. 4 sevens are 28 minus 10 minus 8 is 2 and 0, 20, 4 5s are 20 minus 0. So we've got 75. So that we can write there 75. So we have found the average speed and that is 75 kilometers per hour. So we have found our final answer here for the third part of the question. The average speed for the whole journey is 75 kilometers per hour. We will stop with this for now, children. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you.